Often, someone on a set will measure the distance between the camera and some object in the set to use as a reference for sizing the scene later in post-work. So you can match that distance measurement in SynthEyes pretty easily, and in this tutorial I'll show how to do that. Our scene that we're working with is just a simple dolly. It actually is a very busy scene and there's some issues there, and I'm going to show what to do about those also. So I just started out with a basic auto track, and if you look around there are a couple of things that happen. There's a little tracker back here that sneaks behind the rest of the flowers, so we're going to delete that. There's one that's sitting right on this big highlight, and highlights move and they don't correspond to a single place in space, so we'll need to delete that. There's another similar sort of false feature down there that's just that kind of hole. We'll delete that also. And I'm using a little information looking ahead that these are high error features when you do the solve. So let's go and fire up the solver now and see how we do. And we have the solver set to the sort by error mode. So if I go and just use the down arrow key, I'll get the tracker with the highest error. And if we scrub through a little, see it's kind of something that's behind some of the other foliage. So we'll take that one out too, and we'll just refine the solve a little bit more. So now we have a little solve here. And we're ready to set up a coordinate system. And to do that, we're going to use a couple of these points around the edge of the bowl. So I'm setting that one up as the origin, and one along the x-axis, and one over here as also being on that plane. And we'll just apply that. And now we have our fundamental coordinate system set up. Now what we're going to do here is actually measure the distance to this white sticker here. And we notice we don't actually have any tracker there. So what we're going to do, let's delete that tracker, and we're going to go over to the features panel and go to peel mode. And there's a little blip that's right there at that center spot. There's one over here, this little black mark on the pair also. So we'll just put trackers in those two positions and then go and refine our solution again. So that's given us some trackers right on that surface of the pair there. And this one here is the one that we actually measured. And we measured at the final position of the camera. So we're at the end of the position, the end of the dolly move now. So let's go over to the track menu and use the camera to tracker distance to measure what that distance is. And we come up with this 87 sort of number. And what we're going to do, we'll put that away for a second. What we're going to do, if you look at the value that was used and set up by that default coordinate setup, there's this 20 here. And that's kind of an arbitrary position of that tracker along the x-axis. So what we're going to do is compute a new value for that. So let's get back our correct distance to that tracker again. Here's our value. And what we're going to do is we want that measurement to come out as 26. Because that's what we actually measured. So then we're going to divide by that 87.7659. And we're going to multiply by the 20 that we already have. So we're kind of seeing to what sort of scaling factor we need to apply to that 20 value. So you get 5.925 roughly. So let's go back to that other one. Crank in 5.925. Let's just double check to get that right. 5.925, close enough. And now you go and do the refine again. And it's gone and resized the scene to that smaller size. So now if we go to our tracker on the bear again to check and measure camera to tracker distance, we come out right around 26. And that value is going to fluctuate a little bit each time as we refine. But that's a nice, easy way to set your camera to tracker distance value. Hope you enjoyed the show.